Ladies and gents, a very good evening. Welcome aboard American 297 scheduled service to Miami. I'm Ryan and I'll be taking us down to Miami today in this Boeing 737-800 series aircraft. As you can see outside just now, it's a pretty horrible day here in Orlando. We have air traffic control provided by FAA trainees, so we've got full air traffic control all the way down to Miami today. And as the sun sets over the Florida coast, we're going to experience some weather which has actually banned every commercial aircraft in this area of the United States, as the worst weather system since 2004 hits the coastline. So we're sat here from the jump seat position in the Boeing 737. We can see both the captain's seat on the left and the first officer's on the right. An exact one-to-one replica of the 737. So what we'll do is we'll shimmy ourselves forwards into the seat, like so. Easy. Okay, so this is our main view here. Weather's pretty horrible outside. Ground crew are starting to load up and do their thing, which we can probably see. I think it's from this angle here. So yeah, there we go, from the roof. It's almost like a CCTV camera. We can see the ground crew there. They've got their baggage trucks set out and so on. What we will do just now is we'll just request our refueling. Pretend we've shouted out the window and told them we're ready to take the fuel on. Again, we're just about 20 minutes to go for the slot time. We have a 2200 Zulu slot time, which is 1800 local time in Orlando, or 2300 UK local. So what we need to do firstly then is get the artificial intelligence first officer set up. So a quick little panel there. So fine, we'll come back and cover that in a little while. What we'll do is just get that going.
Okay, let's get the show on the road.
There we go, he sounds delightfully happy to be flying with us. Okay, so firstly down to the right hand side, flight management computer. We're flying from Orlando, so that's KMCO, and we'll stick that in the reference airport just to give us some reference information. We'll then go here and we know we are flying KMCO to KMIA, and we know it's our route is 01 because there's no other flights flying this route today. No, maybe it's not. What we'll do is we'll do it manually then. It's already trying to make a bit of a mess of us. There's the warning systems of the aircraft. These are things we don't want to hear.
Terrain, pull up. Sink rate, pull up. Terrain, pull up. Don't sink. Too low, terrain.
I'll just let it finish first.
Too low, gear. Too low, flaps. Too low, terrain. Glide slope. Bank angle.
Minimums 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Wind shear. Too low, terrain. Caution, terrain. Terrain, pull up.
Okay, so that's that over with. So what I've done there, we've got KMCO in the origin, which is Orlando, KMIA destination, flight number American 296, and our departure runway today is 36 right, which it may not be. We're going to have to contact the air traffic. So we've put 36 right, and there we are, navigation display. We can see 36 right, right in the centre there, and that's the runway we're going to be departing on. What we need to do though is have a quick listening to the weather information for air traffic control. So we'll just tune that in just now, and that's in the top left there. You might not see it because of the stream. There we go. It's 121.250. So we'll listen to that just quickly, get an update of what the weather's like. Or we might not. As usual, as soon as you go to start streaming, whatever has been working before decides that it's no longer going to work. No need to worry though, just be a second, we'll get that up. So essentially we're connecting to what's called an ATIS, which is an automatic traffic terminal information system, sorry, which gives us some weather information. So what we'll do, there we are there, so we'll pull that across. Should now give us a lovely automated voice with what the weather's like here in Orlando.
and 8. Visibility 4. Light rain. Mist. Few clouds at 900.
There we go.
Ceiling 4,000 broken. 10,000 overcast. Temperature 23. 2.22. Altimeter 2977. Area navigation. Anti-LS approach is in use. Landing runways 35 right and 36 left. Departing runways 5 left, 36 left, and 36 right. Simultaneous approach is in use. Notices to airmen. All aircraft operate transponder on mode Charlie when operating on the ground surfaces. Caution bird activity in the vicinity of the field. Brief echo runway hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information echo.
Okay, so that's good. So we have information echo. Essentially, the weather's pretty crap, but we knew that anyway. What we'll do quickly first as well, and there's another aircraft there calling up. So what we'll do is I'll just flick that to a random one just now, just to get rid of the air traffic control. But what we do just now is we're just going to call up air traffic control, request a clearance to Miami, tell him what we're going to be intending to do. Hopefully he'll give us consent for that, which he should do, and then we can continue plotting our routes into the navigation system and prepping this aircraft to go, noting that we only have 15 minutes to do all that. So it's going to be a bit busy, but I'm sure we'll be able to pull it off. We'll try my amazing American accent now in a bit. Orlando, good afternoon to you. This is American 296, type Boeing 737-800 with information echo, stand 53, request clearance to Miami.
American 297, stand by for clearance. I'm just going to go over your route real quick.
No problem. Okay, so we're probably going to get pulled up because we're probably going to be...
American 287, I'm going to give you a slight reroute. It's going to make your trip quite a bit shorter, actually. Are you able to accept the Orlando 2 departure with radar vectors to Treasure?
Orlando 2 with radar vectors Treasure sounds great to us, American 296. Okay. Okay. There we are, so Deirdre in the back's told us that we're going to be doing that instead.
You are cleared to the Miami International Airport to Orlando 2 departure, radar vectors Treasure, then it's filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency is going to be 135.05, squawk 0737.
Cleared to Miami via the Orlando 2 departure, radar vectors Treasure, climbing via the SID. Departure is 13505 and it's 0737, American 296.
American 296 feedback is correct. Push and start at your discretion and call me up when ready for taxi. You can expect runway 36 right.
Push out discretion, we'll give you a shout for the taxi and we'll expect 36 right, American 296.
Southwest 804, contact Jacksonville Center, 135.05.
See you later.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 804.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just switch him off for a second. Let's talk about what just happened there. So we'll go into our departure here. He's cleared us 36 right, so we select the runway 36 right. And he's cleared us on the Orlando to Orla 2 departure. Okay, so that's perfect. And there we go now. If we zoom out on the navigation display, there's KMIA on the left. So he's going to be vectoring us and giving us a little bit of direction on a departure. Thereafter we can expect to Treasure, which is TRV, or Tango Romeo Victor, we'll just punch it in here right now and get rid of that vector actually, because it's only going to draw a line, which is something we don't want. Again, the real aircraft doesn't really like it that much, so we'll as usual, the aircraft actually get more bugs than anything. It's based on a Motorola chip in the flight management computer. So quickly punch in what we're expecting from Miami. I'll talk you through this once we're on the cruise, but just for quickness sake, we're expecting the ILS 30 and we're expecting the AN 83 arrival, and it'll be via Treasure. Okay, what we'll do then, I'll just talk you through our route. Okay, so there's our aircraft here on the ground in Miami. Beautiful, looking nice, slightly off the runway. If we follow the pink line, which is called the magenta line, which is essentially how we navigate, we're going to be departing out to the north initially. We can see that right hand turn after takeoff. Could be a left hand turn. Air traffic control might give us something a little bit different depending on weather. If we step through that, sorry, skipped a little bit there. We step through that, we can take that right turn down to Treasure, which is Tango Romeo Victor. Continuing on a southeasterly routing to the forward, down to Papa Bravo India, down to Annie, which is our arrival. Continue down through Hilly, Cairns, and there we go there. We make that slight left turn, and you can see the runway there, the 800 feet marker, just north of the west, on the side of the navigation display. So essentially a right hand turn to the approach, so it's pretty much a straight flight. What this doesn't include for it is weather though, so it'll be a bit interesting. What we'll do is quickly just get a performance info in, just fill this in. I'll come back to this in a little bit. Expecting 250. Okay, so on this page, it's just our aircraft performance information. This is so the aircraft performs the way it's meant to and burns fuel efficiently. On this here, our M1 limit, this is just to reduce the power we're using on takeoff. Makes the engines last a little bit longer. In a flight simulator, it doesn't really matter that much. Doesn't cost us millions of pounds to replace them. What we've done there, top left, flaps 5. That means we're going to have a flaps 5 takeoff. So the position degrees of the trailing edges can be down 5 degrees. And our V speeds, this is the speeds in which we depart. So top right, V1, 135. That's the point of no return during the takeoff. VR is the rotate speeds, 136. That's the point we actually pull back in the stick and we become unstick from the ground, unstop from the ground even. 140 is our good clean climb speed. So what we'll do is we'll just punch that in the MCP up here. So we'll put that to 140. The heading, put that to 360 degrees. All the way around. There we go, 000 360. And that means it's just in line with the runway, because runway 36 is 360, just like runway 13 would be 130, and so on. It's quite self-explanatory. Altitude, we do have the SID chart up here. We're using an iPad just now, so it's a bit awkward for sticking on the stream. But we're doing the Orlando 2 departure. And we'll just let this come up here just now. Just be one moment. Orlando 2 departure is going to clear us essentially to initial climb of 1,500. Sorry, that was Certus 2, so it's going to be 5,000 feet. So we set 5,000 here. So that's that set. We'll flick the switches and get all those sorted. Down here, just below the heading there, we'll hit VNAV, which is the vertical navigation. And just down, we'll set the auto brake to the position. What we need to do quickly as well is just make sure the bulbs are working in the cockpit. So we'll stick the lights to the test switch. We'll punch us back here. Nope, wrong button. And we'll just make sure that everything's all flashing, lighting up the way it should be. And down there as well. Yeah. Cracking. And likewise with these little ones here, just make sure they're working. And should we need oxygen, just make sure the oxygen tank's working. Always a little bit loud. On the yoke here, we're just going to set 250 on the right hand side of the control column. That's just as a little reminder, so we know we've got the level off at 25,000. And we'll just pull the trims back as well just now. This is essentially makes it almost like power steering. Gives us a little bit of more manoeuvrability on the control surface. Up to the overhead now then. This is the panel above our head. Just essentially we're running ourselves down the left hand side. We go from left to right, up and down. So left hand side, flight control switches, all those are all closed, the safety latches. Yaw damper, which is the switch here. In fact, let's see. Yeah, we can see the mouse now, so I can use that for pointing. Okay, that makes it a bit easier. So the yaw damper here, so it's the on position. And then below it we have the navigation systems, which should all be to the normal position. So unless there was a tech fault with the aircraft or something else, we would usually just have those at the normal position. Moving down, we have displays. We've got auto and normal. They're perfectly fine. Down here are fuel pumps. We have essentially 3 tanks on the 737. One in the centre here, one in the left wing, and one in the right wing. Short flight today, we'll need the fuel tanks on the wings, and we're only taking 7,600 pounds of fuel. So we'll go ahead, we'll switch those pumps on just now, so they'll start pumping the fuel. And down here, the auxiliary power unit, essentially a little bit of a little engine in the tail, which will power, give us electrical power to the aircraft, and also bleed air, which is essential for our flight. What we'll do just now is we'll just request the boarding. Great. Moving back up here then, we see our electrical systems, just how much voltage and so on that the aircraft's pulling just now, all within normal limits. And this is the cabin utility and galley, so certainly the cabin crew, if they want to use any of their kettles or anything like that, or ovens, that must always be on. Moving down, more about electrical systems. This here we'll talk about once we're starting our engines. We have some wipers. We'll turn those on just now because we're probably going to need them. Back up here, some lights. Don't really need those right now, still quite light. Equipment cooling we leave to normal again. Most switches we leave in normal, to be honest. It's very rare you'd have to touch any of this. Emergency exit lights, hopefully we never have to touch. Just leave those in the locked arm position. Stick the seatbelt sign on just now. Pulling this across because we want the electrical power off the auxiliary power unit APU. Which we turned on earlier. Up to the top here, window heat. We want the windows heated up just in case we hit a flock of birds or something. We don't want the windows smashing. Probe heats. I'll just talk you through what the probes actually are. If we go outside, what a horrible day it is in Orlando, and it's just going to get worse as we head south as well. So I'll just take us up to the nose of the aircraft just a second. Emergency exits there. Okay, so these here, this is our probes. So this is essentially how we can tell how fast the aircraft's going. The further one there, and if we can round to this side, we have another couple there. And you can see the electrical power right now, which is powering the aircraft. But these probes essentially, depending on the wind flying past them, they will dictate essentially our airspeed, our heading, our altitude, and so on. So pretty vital. So it's vital we have that. So they're heated up so they don't ice up in the clouds. Hydraulics, anti-ice below. Don't really require that. It's the weather forecast, weather there. Sorry, we just noted down. It's just short of 30 degrees Celsius, so it's quite warm. Down here is our hydraulics. This is what makes the control systems move. If I move down to the yoke just now, if I try moving it at all, it doesn't really. That's me exerting all the pressure, and it won't really move much, which isn't good. So that's because we have the hydraulics off. We'll turn them on when we start the engines. Just resetting that system. And this is our door lights here, just telling us what doors are open. We know the first L1 door and L2 door, which is our cabin doors for the passengers, and we have air stairs extended, and we've got our cargo doors as well. Up here, just the temperature for the cabin and so on. Quite warm, but we'll just leave that to the auto positions. Our bleed information, And what we do now, this is our pressurization panel, so we're just going to set it to 25,000 feet, which is our cruising altitude. And we also want to set it to 50 feet for the elevation of Miami. Sorry, just so we've the aircraft pressurizes to Miami, so we can actually open the doors when we get there.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
There's Bridget again with load sheet. Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Great artificial intelligence way. Squat code, this one here. So he gave us 0737, which is quite apt. When we spoke to the air traffic controller that were there a little while ago. This is essentially gives him the information on his radar so we can see where we are and what we're doing. Quick fire check just to make sure the fire systems are working now, which are quite vitally important. Do it there, the overheat lights light up, and we do that, and we have a horrible siren. It's something we hope we'd never have to experience. These red handles here illuminate. This is how we would pull the extinguishers and essentially put out a fire if required. Likewise, the tubes for the front nose gear and the cargo fire system. Again, something we hope not to hear during flight. Weather radar here is all working well, and first officer's side replicates the captain's side, vice versa. Okay, just going to do our departure briefing then. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go for it.
Okay, we can expect to push back today. Runway 36 right departure. The taxi route will be pushing to the right, vacating airside 3 via Echo 1, following Charlie to Bravo 10 for 36 right. Any questions?
No questions.
Perfect. Okay, so essentially right now we're in a good position and we're about ready to go. So 11 o'clock on the dot, running to time. Perfect. It's almost like a Ryanair flight. Okay, so I'll do my checklist now with the artificial intelligent first officer. We'll pretend he has a bit more of a personality than he's maybe letting on. And there's Deirdre in the back there doing our thing. Safety inspection checklist and before start checklist to the line.
Safety inspection checklist. Surfaces and chocks.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric hydraulic pumps.
Set and checked.
Landing gear lever.
Set and checked.
Ship's library.
Set and checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete. Before start checklist to the line. Phones.
Off.
Off. IRS mode selectors.
You see it? Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Light test.
Checked.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Yaw damper.
On.
Navigation transfer and display switches.
Normal auto.
Fuel.
Pumps on.
Cabin utility IFE.
On.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Passenger signs.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Air conditioning and pressurization.
Pax auto. Bleeds on. Set.
Pressurization mode selected.
Auto.
Instruments.
Set and checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Speed brake lever.
Down detent.
Parking brake.
Set.
Stabilizer trim cutout switches.
Set and checked.
Wheel well fire warning.
Checked.
Radios, radar, and transponder.
Set and standby.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
Discussed.
EA.
Complete.
FMC CDU.
Set and checked.
N1 and IAS bugs.
Set and checked.
Stabilizer trim.
Set and checked.
EFP.
airplane mode and stowed.
Airplane mode and stowed. Holding at flight deck windows and cockpit door.
Okay, so he's holding at flight deck windows, cockpit door, which means we're just waiting on the cabin crew to say good to go, and then we'll be pushing back from the gates here in Orlando and on our merry way. Quick just look here where we are situated in the airport, just to give you a little bit of situational awareness. So we're parked here at stand 35. We're coming out. Essentially we have to push so our nose faces that direction there, because we want to taxi out over here and then make a left hand turn. And if we continue round, that's the runway we'll be taking off on. So we're going to continue round here all the way up there and then away. This is Orlando Airport here, by the way. It's more terminals over there. It's quite a busy airport. And there's our American 737 and a van driving by us, probably asking what the hell we're doing flying in this weather. There we go, Deirdre's telling us. Thanks.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
We're turning on the anti-collision light, which is the red light.
Cockpit door.
This just tells the ground crew that we're about to start the engine soon. Locked.
Lock doors.
Closed.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Below the line.
A pumps.
Off.
Air conditioning packs.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Standby.
Before start checklist complete.
And ground cockpit, we're ready for pushback.
Which means one thing, it means the passenger announcement now. Here we go. So we switch it to PA. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, a very good afternoon. This is the captain speaking. My name's Ryan. I'd like to welcome aboard this American Airlines service to Miami. We're just a few moments now loading on the rest of the bags and connecting the tug up front. Weather here in Orlando, pretty much same as Miami. A little bit of clouds and rain across the sky. Estimated time en route today is a little under an hour. Our estimated time in Miami will be approximately 9 PM local time. For your safety and comfort today, our cabin crew will shortly be demonstrating the safety features on board this 737. I'd ask you please pay particular attention to these, as your safety today is our primary concern. We're just preparing now for our final checks and we'll be on our way. Short taxi out to the westerly facing runway today. We'll be running out to the north, making a right hand turn after takeoff, and thereafter climb up to a cruising altitude of 25,000 feet. That's roughly about 2.5 miles up, or around about 20,000 meters. Just now though, sit back, relax, make yourself comfortable, make full use of the facilities on board today. I'll speak to you on the cruise with more information on the other flights and the weather down in Miami. Once again, thank you very much for choosing to fly with us and have a great time. Cabin crew, final checks and doors to automatic, please.
And release parking brakes, sir.
Well, we'll let him out of his misery now. Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Commencing the push, Captain. Start engines at your
That noise was the parking brake. Starting engine 2.
Check.
And that switch there, and we'll see the gauge here, the N2, which is this one here, the blade inside it will start to rise. I'll then see N2, N2.
Oil pressure.
Okay, and we're waiting for that 15, 16, 17, waiting for that hit 25, and then we can inject the fuel into the engine. 24, get the fuel in now actually. And we're pushing back, we're on our way. Okay, and we'll start starting engine number 1.
Check.
We now request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the flat metal clip in the buckle and pull the
N2.
tighten up.
Oil pressure.
To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as we may experience turbulence.
Starter cut out.
There are several emergency exits on this aircraft.
Number 2 stable.
Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest you. In some cases, the exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, more level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is
And set parking brakes, please.
may also be attached and used as a life vest. Oxygen and air pressures are always being monitored. In the event of any decompression, an oxygen mask
Parking brake set now. Those two engines are starting nicely. Just monitor them. There is the chance that essentially the engines could always overheat or self-combust on startup. It's been known to happen. Usually though, we just slam those levers here back down and we'd pull the fire handles, but you shouldn't have that issue. Okay, there we go. Start us cut now so we can get the power going.
Disconnected and the ballast pin is removed.
So we'll pull the power from the engines now. We got up here. There we go. Apologies, air traffic. What we'll do now, just changing the pressurization now so it's coming off the engine. And these are both set to continuous, which means they're constantly igniting during takeoff, as we don't want to lose an engine during this stage of flight. Flight controls check.
Ready.
So now we can see our flight controls information here. We just want to make sure the control columns and everything's all working. Fully forwards, fully aft, fully left, fully right, fully left, fully right. And we'll go from our passenger window just to give you a perspective here of what's happening. So when I'm going fully left, that's going up, and fully right, the opposite direction. Before taxi, checklist. Just putting the flaps to 5.
Generators.
On,
Broken.
on,
Any ice.
off,
A pumps.
on.
Air conditioning.
Pax auto, bleeds on.
Isolation valve.
Auto,
Start switches.
continuous,
APU.
off,
Recall.
checked,
Flight controls.
checked.
Flaps.
5 required, 5 selected, green light.
Stabilizer check.
Set and checked,
Start lever.
set and checked.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Okay, we just need to contact the controller again now. So he's talking to other aircraft as well, obviously, so we just have to wait. And we'll jump in now. Orlando, again, American 297, we're ready for taxi.
American 297, runway 36 right, taxi via Bravo 7, Charlie, Bravo 10.
Bravo 7, Charlie, and Bravo 10 for 36 right, American 297. That's great. Clear on the left.
Clear right.
Taxi lights on. And it's time to be going then. Applying some power. Get the wipers on a bit more. Stick that old weather radar on, you'll see it light up like a Christmas tree here. There we go, look at that weather radar. This is all turbulence, and like the red and pink area is just terrible. Going to make the left hand turn on this taxiway now. Navigating on the ground is one of the most difficult things to do. Don't think we should really have taxied along this far, but a bit of a tight turn. and you can see the weather radar. It's constantly scanning, so it's coming from the nose of the aircraft, which we set up. You can see just there. Just going to do our before takeoff checklist now, just to make sure the aircraft's configured for takeoff, because it's quite a short taxi. Before takeoff checklist to the line.
Before takeoff, checklist to the line. Config.
Checked.
Flaps.
5 green light.
7, if you could hold your position when you get to Echo, I'm going to have traffic crossing in front of you.
We'll hold position at Echo American 297, no problem. Set and checked.
Takeoff brief.
Reviewed.
Holding at cabin.
Fox 591, continue on Foxtrot to turn right Bravo, left Echo, cross runway 36 right.
Cabin.
American 297, continue taxi.
Continue taxi American 297. So essentially we just gave way to another aircraft there.
Crossing Bravo 2012, you're cleared for the wind 350 at 11. You're cleared for the option stop and go not available. Runway 36 left.
What is that? Probably.
So he's taken off the other runway, so that's fine.
Oscar Bravo 2012, wind 35011, touch and go, runway 3, cleared for touch and go, runway 36 left. Fox 591, cross runway 36 left.
Alright, we're just going to give the past cabin announcement now to get their seats. Set and checked.
Before takeoff, checklist complete to the line.
Cabin crew seats departure please. Cabin crew seats for departure, thank you.
American 297, wind 3, after departure, turn right heading 010, wind 35011, runway 36 right, cleared for takeoff.
After departure we 010, clear to take off 36 right, American 297. Okay, it's time to earn the money.
Southwest 820, runway 35 left. taxi
Controller's
to
quite
Hotel
busy.
1, Golf, Hotel 10.
There's a runway.
Hotel 1, Golf, Hotel 10, please, that's left, please.
Confirm clear to enter runway 36 right.
Confirm. Good time.
Below the line.
Cabin crew seats for departure. MCP.
Set.
Transform.
Approaching 36 right.
TARA.
Landing with strobes.
On.
Tracks.
On.
Before takeoff, checklist.
On runway 36 right.
Zero 006 timing.
Check.
Oscar Bravo 2012, go ahead and turn your base.
Stabilize.
Runway
Set takeoff
36 left,
thrust.
cleared for touch and go.
Takeoff thrust set.
Check. Oh, we're getting blown with the wind already.
80 knots.
Checked. Rotating. Gear up. Here we go.
Oscar Bravo 2012 with 35011, runway 36 left.
Select heading, select.
Heading select.
Making that right hand turn now.
American 297, contact Jacksonville Center 135.05.
13505 for Jacksonville, American 297, bye. Just contacting the other controller now, which is the main air traffic control center. Jacksonville, hello, American 297 with the other 2800 heading 010. Flaps 1. Turn riding 160 and up to 14,000 American 297. Set heading 0. Set heading 160. Flaps up.
08%.
Select level change.
Heading 160%.
Okay, so we've just been cleared up to 14,000 and we've set our heading. Flaps up. Climbing quite nicely, making the right hand turn over downtown Orlando. After takeoff checklist. This guy here, that's another aircraft been picked up on our radar just now, 2,800 feet below us. Climbing through 5,000 now.
Pressurization set. Loading head up to
Navy 25, flight secretary, plan for the ILS Zulu on the cutting up.
Say runway again, Jacksonville.
Navy 25, plan for the ILS Zulu on the cutting up.
America 7 left, ILS.
Command 8. It's the main autopilot system now engaged. That will maintain. Hands are off the controls.
American 297, minus 6. American 297, Miami is 1.9 decline. Navy 27,
Free exchange approved, American 297, thanks, so on. Okay, so we've just been cleared of free exchange approved, which is good. Means I can now talk you through what's happening. 10 checks. And you can see the clouds here. I'm going to turn these window wipers off. They aren't doing anything at this altitude anyway.
lights are on. APU is on. Pressurization set. Recall check.
Give you a wing view. Look at that there you go. So that noise there was to tell us that we're coming up on our altitude. So we're just going to set 25,000 here now. According to this, we should be doing 255 knots on the climb, which we're now going to be doing. And we're going to give ourselves a left-hand turn to follow that magenta line, 140 degrees. And we can see a bit of layer of cloud now. We can see some ground below us as well. Go to our wing view, you might be able to see some better. See how bad the visibility is, though. You can hardly see anything. There we are, into another cloud now. Pull up the range a little bit so we can see this treasure here, which is 50 miles away, and that's roughly where we're heading to. Look at this weather radar. It's this here is Hurricane Matthew showing up here. So this all this area here, Hurricane Matthew, and that's where we're heading towards. So it's pretty dismal. The reason we've not got air traffic control right now is because the controllers in Miami. Orlando is obviously was pretty horrid, but nowhere near what we're going to get in Miami. We're going with this weather radar return here. But the controllers in Miami, they've had a power cut. So set and checked. So we're just setting out to this passing 18,000. But yeah, the controllers in Miami have had a power cut now. They're all been evacuated and so on in real world. So there is no air traffic control. So this will make it slightly more interesting as well. Again, we're passing through 19,000 feet, still in the clouds. To put this in perspective, we'd usually be out of the clouds by about 3,000. So it's quite crazy. We'd usually get a really nice view of the coming above the puffy clouds just now in a nice blue sky. Instead, we're in pretty thick moisture. This weather radar is it's absolutely insane. Just look at that. That's there we go. Coming above now. You can see the towering clouds here in front of us. It's Hurricane Matthew in the distance. I'll go for an outside view for you. There we go, there's the aircraft, and there's the cloud below. Coming up on 22,000 now. Running to that again, and we're just going to select our lateral and vertical navigation modes as seen here. VNAV vertical navigation, LNAV lateral navigation, which will route us to the treasure points here, and then before we're taking us into the hurricane essentially. We should be on the ground in Miami by midnight UK time, or 2300 Zulu time. Coming up through 23,800 now, cruising altitude is 25,000, so we'll shortly be levelling off and accelerating. Okay. So we'll put the seatbelt signs to auto, just in case anyone needs to use the toilets. Hear the engines now. And we've just been advised some information from air traffic by NOTAM here. There is the eye wall to the storm approximately 40 miles to our south at the moment, so we'll shortly be going along there. Wind currently being reported around about 120 to 130 miles per hour, so it's absolutely crazy. In fact, it's one of the worst storms we've seen since 2004, so and we're going to be flying right into it, so this should be interesting. Just going to set up our arrival now though. 304 degrees, which is the runway heading. Got to keep some sort of normality. So we'll just punch that in, 304, and again the same on the right side, 304. And what we do is navigation radios here. This essentially gives off a beacon from the ground and guides us in on our approach, because it doesn't look like we're going to be able to see the runway today until the very last minute, so we need to make sure this is definitely in. So we're doing an instrument landing system, ILS approach into Orlando. So I've got the good delight now of saying that we're about to fly into that, and you can see the weather radar. It's not even picking up single things anymore now. If we make it a bit bigger here, it's this is the hurricane, and this is the hurricane wall here. So this area here is the wall of it essentially. See if I can go any bigger. There's our entire route. So it will probably load up the weather radar in just a second again. So essentially the hurricane starts around about here, and we're going to have to fly right. It only picks up about 80 miles, so essentially we're going to be cutting right through it. The hurricane is all over here. It's just the weather radar. You can see here it continues when it's scanning back and forward, left and right. It's picking up the weather, and that's essentially by sending out a beam which hits off the rain and comes back. So the weather radar doesn't show us clouds or things like that. It shows us density. So usually most cloud will show as a green colour, as seen here. Slightly thicker clouds, yellow, then red, and then the pink represents severe turbulence. And that's at 2 degrees nose down, so it's pretty much at our flight level. And you can't even see our route here, it's that poor. In fact, to be honest, it's the worst I've ever seen it, ever. Which should prove a little bit interesting. And you can see we're just slightly above the clouds. This is at 25,000 feet. We usually wouldn't expect the weather anywhere near this high. Okay, so making good time just now. Going to accelerate slightly, punch through this weather, and we're going to get that seatbelt sign turned on. Definitely no meal service on this flight. In fact, the only aircraft in this entire area right now, there's Flight Radar 24 fantastic app, and you can see exactly what aircraft are flying in the real world at this very moment. And the only aircraft within about, I would say, about 100 miles of where we are just now is a US government, US Air Force aircraft monitoring the storm from a distance. They certainly wouldn't have aircraft flying into this if this is way above the limits of what a 737 can do. So if this turns very messy and we crash, then there's the disclaimer now. But we'll certainly do our best and try and get us in the ground to Miami safe and sound. Okay, so just coming up on the wall of the hurricane just now. The weather radar is going a bit crazy. Another aircraft in front of us is reporting 165 mile per hour winds at a similar altitude just below us. And you can see the cloud system here on the right. A little bit of a traffic warning there. Aircraft climbing above us, it's fine. Coming up in TD here, the green, which means we're about to begin our descent just in a few moments. So this should be quite interesting. Let's do our approach brief then. Minimum is 300 and I go around with 3000. And certainly the concern is most likely the weather. Okay, what we're going to do now then is the descent checklist. Descent checklist. 50 feet. Off. Set and jet. Set and jet. There we go. So we're done descent checklist, and we'll hit back to vertical navigation. We'll reset the altitude, and we'll clear as initially down to 10,000. So we're about to descend into the storm. Pull on the speed brakes. Slow us down a little bit, and there's our turbulence beginning now. Alright, here we go. Some towering clouds here going on. Alright, I think people will be asking for a refund after this flight. Weather radar is just it's just a mush, to be honest. It's almost, well, not even using. Go to wing view again for you. There we go there. The clouds are now above us again. Some really horrible towering clouds, cumulonimbus. Okay, as we descend just now, I'm just monitoring our current airspeeds, 280 knots. Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments.
29047 set, cross check.
2947 set. Approach checklist.
There we are, making a slightly right turn now, and that should take us down into the storm, and here we go. We're getting bounced about a little bit. Okay, so another update for us on the current weather information. Across the runway at Miami, they're reporting crosswinds now of 50 knots, so that's roughly in the region of 75-80 miles per hour. Alright, so we'll get this weather radar zoomed in now. Sailing through 12,000. Seems that we're just skimming it just now. You can see the weather radar, the way the storm system's sat over Miami. We haven't quite hit it just yet. A few moments we won't be able to see anything out the window again, and we'll be right in the storm. Ah, there we go, some rough air again. Just change your heading in just to give us a bit of situational awareness, just in case the autopilot drops out. And we'll clear us down to 5,000 now. I'll put a wing view again. There you go, there's your wing bouncing all over the place. Flexing all over the place, the wing, so it's doing what it should be doing anyway, certainly. 10 checks. Alright, time for our little announcement. See what the weather's like on the ground at Miami first, so we'll just get that weather.
Kilo Mike India Alpha Airport information. Hotel 2100 Zulu weather wind 345 at 9er visibility 1/2 sky condition ceiling 800 overcast.
Okay, so we don't need to listen to anything else. The wind's 345 at 9er, so it's 345 degrees at greater than 99 knots. Basically, we're probably going to tip over here as we go in, so this will be interesting. Alright, let's do an announcement. Tell the passengers to strap on and get their parachutes ready. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, the captain speaking with our KMCO descent into Miami. Thank you very much for choosing a flying with American today. And last that, please ensure your seatbelts are securely fastened in preparation for arrival. If you're staying in Miami, it might be worthwhile taking a shelter. If you continue on the journey, have a very safe one. And how it's coordinated the non-American airline service in the very near future. Cabin crew, we're now at 2 minutes landing. Cabin crew, 2 minutes landing, please strap in. Here we go. Alright. Another aircraft out there. Thanks. And in the cloud we go again. We have a 99 knot wind hitting off the back of us right now. Put it into perspective for you, the landing limit for a 737 is 40 knots. So if the winds right now at Miami are 99 knots, they're more than double the limit, the physical limit that this aircraft can actually take during landing and takeoff. So we'll see how this goes. Zoom in a bit more. Wipers on again. Cleared. Cleared. Got those lights on. Looks like we'll probably need them. Turning left, turning 160 now. Winds 99 knot from my tail. Continue descent to 3000. Traffic in the weather system there. We might have just been heading off something else. Okay, here we go then. Okay, so it's a little bit busy over Miami as we begin our approach. Drop the speed down to 200. Making a full right hand turn now. Now we're at 3,000 feet and there's no visibility, so this is going to be really interesting. Okay, let's get this round then. 3, 2, 0. 200 knots. Come on. Speed brake again. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Flaps 5.
Speed check. Flaps 5. Traffic proceed. Traffic proceed.
Just praying for our final approach now, so we'll just be 1 moment and we'll be coming in on our approach. Oh bugger, 130. Taking manual control. Just about stalled the aircraft there, and we're now coming up below our speeds. Okay, this is what we're slightly worried about. Making a left-hand turn now. One 7.7. 1.7. There's our approach path, and we'll just fly right through it. Manual control of the throttles now. We're now flying the aircraft completely manually and completely on the instruments. Lose the weather radar because we know it's going to be awful. Set heading 304.
Heading 304 set.
Flaps 10.
Speed check. Localizer capture. Flaps 10. Flight slope capture.
Flaps 15, landing checklist to flaps.
Speed check. Flaps 15. Engine star switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Auto brake.
Level 2 set.
Holding in flaps.
V speed's 139, we'll go for 149.
25.
Flaps 30.
Speed check. Flaps 30.
So fighting this weather here just now. It's quite a bit of whack on the control column just to keep us, and you can see that with the way we're getting pushed around the sky just now. It's (1183). Okay, we've just been asked to contact the air traffic controller at Miami, so we do have Miami Tower now. Miami, hello, this is American 296 with you. We're on the final runway 30.
American 297, Miami, wind 28015.25, runway 30, clear line.
Cleared line, American 297. Okay, so fighting the controls here. We've just been cleared to land, and we're hitting 99 knot winds, which is a bit all over the place.
Good evening, Tower, American 221A, holding ashore.
And we keep getting swept all over the place. You can see this instrument here shows our artificial horizon, whether we're turning left and right, and you can see we're all over the place.
Miami Tower, good evening. Continue hold short, runway 26 left, just the departure control is setting up on
Roger, hold down.
That's getting pushed all over the place here. 2 hands on the controls, that's what we do. And this is why, you boys and girls, you don't fly into a thunderstorm. Way below the vertical path now. 5 miles out from the runway. Can we make it? soon find out. Bit more power. Got to punch through this weather, that's the problem. Flaps out at 30. Oh, we're drifting to the left again. Got quite a bit of rudder in just now. Oh. Yes. Okay, so way above the vertical profile now. So we're just way above it, way below it, we're kind of all over the place, we're not very steady at all. Set and checked. Cleared. Sync rate's not something you want to hear. 1,000 feet, so we're less than 1,000 feet off the runway now. So we should realistically be able to see the ground, but we don't, which is a bit concerning. $750 feet coming up on now. We'll just premeditate this turn. Both hands on the controls here. We're bouncing around about our VRAS speeds. You can see the fuel instruments on the right hand side are showing low. Can't see a thing out the window. Alright. No, we'll be fine. Getting blown all over the place. Oh, that's buildings. We don't want to see that. We're going around. So we're going to abort this landing. Flaps 5. American 297 going around.
American 297, fly heading 300, maintain 3000.
Heading 300, 3000, American 297. Gonna bring the autopilot in to do this for us. Bring the gear back up just now.
American 297, cut. American 297, contact Miami departure. Contact Miami departure 124.85.
12485 for American 296, thanks very much. Okay, so we just had to abort that landing after almost hitting a building. We are kind of all over the place at the moment. Miami departure, American 296, 297, sorry, as I go around from 30, heading 300.
American 297, you're still with me. Still power.
Oh, apologies. It's kind of overload here from the aircraft.
American 2218, climb maintain 16,000.
Climb maintain 16,000, American 218.
Miami American 297 as I go around from 30, heading 300.
American You're on a 270 heading for turn right heading 360 immediately, expect ILS 26 left.
Express 26 left and heading 360 American 297.
American 297, climbing 257.
And you see with the weather, it's changing quite rapidly.
American 2218, proceed direct to skip.
Yes, American 2218.
And we're going manual again. Until the aircraft can sort itself out. And we'll re-engage the autopilot system. Hopefully the second time lucky we should be able to make it in. Heading at 360 degrees. ILS 26 left this time.
Again, 938 Miami approach, reset transponder score 3706.
But expect 26 left, so we're changing runway.
10 north, expect vectors for descent, 718 12000, ILS 28 right approach, to verify you have information in. Okay, to show 12000, I'll expect vectors for 828 right approach, and we have hotel, we just heard that change in India just a second ago. Okay. American 297, speed up please, maintain 250 knots, turn right heading, 090, climb, maintain 5
Right, 090, 250 nose up to 5000 American 297.
American 2218, contact my center 132.25.
Flaps up.
Gun 132.25, American U218.
Yeah, 5150, descend, maintain 6000, maintain 250 knots.
Another 6,000.
American 938, proceed direct to Fort Lauderdale, I expect to hold over Fort Lauderdale for descent. You're at Fort Lauderdale, looks like hold. American 938. American 297, maintain 4000.
Right, do 4000, reach the American 297. So we're playing heading bingo now with this.
American 938, this is 19 900,000. 900,000, American 938.
Got some lights on here. Let's just see what we're doing. Same with up here. And down here.
Miami approach, good evening, American 201 with you at 11,000, flying direct, 3 trip.
American 201 Miami, Miami approach squawk 3556, maintain 10,000.
We understand, police for American 201.
3556.
3556 for American 201, thank you.
American 297, turn left heading 180 to 7, maintain 3,000. It's going to be a right turn heading 180, sir.
So we're making that right hand turn again now.
Get a 938, turn right heading 010.
Right, 010, get a 938.
We're just monitoring this just now. This
01 at a contact 20 southwest of Flipper. Depart Flipper heading 310 vectors ILS runway 30 approach.
Continue to Flipper, after Flipper flight heading 310 and vectors for runway 30, American 201.
American 297, down about Nashville, turn right heading 240, maintain 3,000, full balance, split ILS, runway 2
right on 240, 3000 to establish clear, that's 26 left approach, American 297. Okay, so we've been cleared the approach now. We're going to let the auto flight system see if it does any better.
American 297, right heading 300,
300 to intercept localized, American 297.
and 5150, heavy 9 miles from Umar, turn right. It's going to be a right turn heading 250, maintain 2005, control established on the local after clear to ILS from 28 approach.
2250, 2500 will grab for the island, 285.
American channel this time, maintain 4,000. American 938, turn right, 090, maintain 250 knots, give me a good range of descent to 6,000.
Approach on.
0250 knots and down to 6,000, American 938.
American 299, keep the speed up to 210 knots and hold 10 miles final, please.
American 201 to reduce speed to 10 knots.
Man, sorry about that, I'm reporting 2500 with you on this one.
American 1425, Miami Bridge, reset transponder, squawk 3642.
1425.
Right, we're heading 274 set. Flights 15, landing check the flaps.
3642.
Flaps 1.
Speed check.
American 297 is fully established, 13 miles, 26 left. Gear down.
American 297, contact Miami 0193.
183, American 297.
Hey, man, Chris,
Delta 561 heavy contact Miami departure. All looking for 85. Good night.
contact departure, Delta 561.
Flaps 5.
Speed check.
We have a Terra American 297 on the final 26 left approach, 10 miles.
2500.
American 297, Miami Tower, good evening, wind 28015, runway.
Good land, 26 left American 297, hopefully second time lucky. Cheers. Flaps 15, landing check the flaps.
Speed check. Speed break.
Miami Center, Delta 561 with you.
Delta 561 heavy, you're still in tower, contact approach.
Roger that.
Set and checked. Checked.
Miami Approach, Delta
Armed.
561 with you.
Down 3 green.
Delta 561, still tower.
Level 2 set.
Holding in flaps.
We're going to go for level 3. Having a really difficult time slowing down here. This was not one of the best ideas to do. Flaps 25.
Speed check.
Cleared.
Check.
Flaps 30.
Speed check. Flaps 30.
Approaching 26 left.
Two 6 left identified. Landing.
Check. Speed break up. Chris.
Manual braking.
60 knots.
Delta, correction, American 297, welcome to Miami. Exit left label, contact ground point. Thank you.
Left label and ground point 9, American 297, thanks very much. Juliet, Juliet, can't see a thing.
Master caution, leaving ISO space.
Miami ground, American 297, hello.
American 297 on ground break, good evening, where are you parking?
Anywhere you can for this, 297.
297 taxi to parking by November.
Parking via November, American 297, thanks. I think we're actually lost here. Let's get some nice lighting going on. There we go. How nice is that? To flying in that weather. Nice little comforts now.
Miami ground Delta 1182, ready to taxi. Delta 1182, Miami ground break, good evening, runway 26, or correction, runway 27, taxi by Papa, the altimeter 2950. Roger, runway 27, via Papa, Delta 1182. Fuel pumps off, seatbelt signs coming off. Make sure we've got enough power. Yep.
cabin crew doors may be opened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miami, the middle of a hurricane. Thanks so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and happy flight.
Those magnificent men in their flying machines, they go up to the up, they go down to the down. They enchant all the ladies and steal all the scenes with their up to the up, and then down to the down. Up, down, flying around, looping the loop and defying the ground. They're all rightfully keen, those magnificent men in their flying machines. They can fly up and down with their feet in the air. They don't think of danger, they really don't care. Newton would think he had made a mistake to see those young men and the chances they take. Those magnificent men in their flying machines, they go up to the up, they go down to the down. They enchant all the ladies and steal all the scenes with their up to the up, and their down to the down. Up, down, flying around, looping the loop and defying the ground. They're all frightfully keen, those magnificent men in their flying machine. Those magnificent men in their flying machine, they go up to the up, they go down to the down. Those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men in their flying machine.
Good night.